Hi Virgo, thanks for watching. This is a spiritual horoscope, so please take what resonates and release the rest. We'll start off with some runes and then we'll clarify with some cards. So let's hop in. What does Virgo need to know at this time? What's the energy that wants to come in? Okay. Oh, okay. What's this one that just fell? So you've got Longoose. So this represents like going with the flow. And I feel like there's a lot of changes happening in your life right now, and this is where like you really need to just go with the flow and trust that things will fall into its place when it's the right time. And you've got Taurus, so this is where there is a change coming in, and I feel like there's multiple changes because Thorisaz represents like a gateway. Like if you think of it, it's an opening, it's a new start. So this is where going with the flow will allow these things to come into its place when it's the right time. And you can't force things to come in. And it's hard sometimes going with the flow when you're in the midst of so much change, but being stressed, and that is actually like a deterrent. It's a blocker from letting these things come in because your energy is negative in terms of it's the stress, right? So it's blocking all this positivity from wanting to come in. So this is where going with the flow and not being stressed, things will come into its place a lot faster than if you're stressed and worried and have anxiety. Then that's just, it really is like a block you're putting up. It's like a wall. So this is where the universe is saying, go with the flow. Things will work itself out when it's the right time. It's like if you're moving and you're trying to sell a house. I'm giving this as an example. Maybe you're actually going through this, but this is where the energy is coming in to talk about it. So if you found another place, that's fantastic, but then there's all this work in terms of getting your current place ready and decluttering and making sure everything's clean, talking to lawyers, accountants, and a realtor, and doing all these things, all this prep work and packing. Like there's so much that goes into it. And then there's also the doubt. Well, are we going to get the asking price? Are we going to get what we want? And all this kind of stuff. So this is where the universe is saying, just trust. Everything will work itself out and everything will be okay. Just go with the flow. That's the important thing right now. And we've got Yira. So this is where going with the flow is important, and trusting the universe, because Yira is all about, think of it like energy and karma. What you put out to the world comes back. And we talked about that block, that wall that you're putting up with your energy. If it's stress, anxiety, what have you, letting go, going with the flow. And I know that's hard to do, but it's like doing a lot of self-talk will help you like slowly break down that barrier that you've put up. And this is where Yira is about that energy. So it's really important right now to break down that wall, do that self-talk, saying, hey, everything's okay, trust the universe, and even talk to the universe. Ask for signs that, hey, am I in the right direction? And all that kind of stuff. And if you've got your mind open to it, you'll be amazed at how they actually answer you. And it could be through little signs throughout the day, and they're just showing that they're with you. And I'll give you an example what happened earlier for me today. So one of the signs that I have for my grandmother that's passed is music. So here I was, and all of a sudden I'm alone and there's music that starts playing. So it's like, okay, this is awesome. And then you start talking to them and say, ask them a question, and the first word that comes to your mind, it's them telling you something. It's letting them in. And so this is where the more you practice, the better you'll become. But let them in, let the energy in, and you'll be amazed at, through talking to them, how you'll break down that barrier, break down that wall that you've created for yourself. And it's almost like you've created this as like kind of like an outer shell, like an armor, in order to like protect you from the outside. But it's okay to be human, it's okay to be vulnerable. But this is where talking to your loved ones on the other side, because they're still with you, is that energy, letting them in and letting in that positivity. And you'll be, the words that keep saying is that you'll be amazed at what comes through, but you need to trust it. Okay, look, now you've got Ansus, which is all about asking for signs. So the universe is trying to talk to you right now, and you need to trust it really, because Ansus is all about asking for signs from the universe and to listen. So this whole thing is about letting go, letting the energy in, and look, and now you've got the signs. So like the universe is really trying to tell you something, and you need to it's like you need to have an open mind about it. What else can you bring in? So you've got Ingus. So this is where we talked about how the more you do it in terms of talking to the universe, the stronger you'll become. And this is what Ingus is all about. Think of it as like a baby in terms of like taking care of it, and you'll see them grow and develop. And this is where like the more you talk to the universe, the more you let them in, the stronger you'll become, and you'll be amazed at what you can actually pick up. Let's go to some cards now. What does Virgo need to know? You're a leader. So this is where the more you do it, the stronger you'll be. But you need to practice. It's almost like you need to get like a little notebook. Write down a question, and the first answer that comes into your head, the first word, write it out. And then you can actually go back to it to see if you're on the right path or not, if you got the right answer. And then this is where the more you do it, you won't even need that notebook anymore. You can just start talking to the universe. And again, like you'll really be amazed at it. But it's not going to happen overnight. So you need to be kind to yourself, that in terms of if you didn't get it right the first time, that's okay. And you just keep practicing. Don't give up. And you'll again, the word that keeps popping into my head is you'll be amazed. But just trust it. What else can we pick up? Okay, this one looks like it wants to come up. Love. So on the other side, everyone that's passed away that are in heaven, like heaven is all about love. So this is where they're still with you. It feels like there's a lot of people watching over you. And like there's a grandmother that sticks out more specifically. But it's like I can see her. She's surrounded by so many people. And this is where like letting them in, trusting that they're still with you, and that positivity, letting that energy in. And it's like it's going to transform your life because you don't have that armor anymore. You're allowing yourself to be vulnerable and being human. And it's like once you break down that barrier that you created for yourself, that wall, you're letting in the positive. And it's almost like you've created that barrier in order to like protect yourself, and you did it in a way that it was to do it. You were doing it thinking it was going to be a positive thing. Hey, like I'm not going to get hurt, everything's going to be okay, like I've got this armor, I'm protected, I'm okay. But this is where it's created like a block for this energy that wants to come in. So let it in is what the universe is saying. Don't compromise. So this is where it's not going to happen overnight, this change, but don't compromise, don't give up, and things will be okay. Oh, that just flew out. A wise decision. It is a wise decision to let in that energy and talking to the universe, but don't give up. That's how I want to take this card with don't compromise, don't give up. It is okay to let them in. It's okay to let down that barrier and go with the flow and have fun with it. This is what I have for you at this time. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.